Howdy ho! I got Treehouse's Hurricane to review right now. This is one of their double IPAs, only 7.7% alcohol though, so right on the edge. I went to Treehouse yesterday, and this one was canned November 14th, 2018. That was 5 days ago. So this one uses Citra and Simcoe hops. They don't say anything about the malt bill, but like all their beers, I assume there's probably wheat or oats thrown in there for some creaminess. And I have had this once on draft at Treehouse like a year ago or something. Thought it was pretty good. Simcoe and Citra are probably my favorite hops, at least for like IPAs and stuff. I love me my noble hops and my pilsners. But this one, yeah, it doesn't have as high ratings as their other more standard double IPAs they make more often, like Haze and Doppelganger, but I've had those a lot of times. So I was kind of excited to get some cans of this baby. Let's see how it is. Looks like a standard Treehouse beer, nice and hazy. Doesn't look like a weird off batch, at least visually. Poured kind of hard, got a little bit of a big head there. Can smell it strongly. I'm smelling their yeast. I'm starting to realize that there's kind of a nuttiness that Treehouse's like standard yeast seems to create. It's not in the bright where they use a different ale yeast, but it's like a nuttiness that's almost like vanilla-y. My friend once said it was like peanut buttery, and I'm like, Now I kind of think of that when I smell it, but I like to think of it more as almost like a sherbet sort of thing, like that has the creaminess, because sherbet is like that, ice cream like thing. It's somewhere between ice cream and sorbet. It's like a mixture of fruit and additives, and there's also milk in it, but it's not as rich as ice cream. Yeah, it smells like rainbow sherbet, I guess I would say. Very nice. Really big on the creamsicle. It smells a little bit like some milkshake IPAs I've had. But there's no lactose or vanilla in this at all. A lot of tropical, definitely lots of pineapple. Peachy. Yeah, smells really nice. Ooh, pretty juicy. It's not really big, full, soft like some other beers are. Probably also because it's not 8% or higher, so it's not gonna have quite as big of a body as those full-on double IPAs. Yeah, they don't even list the ABV on this. Interesting. But I like that. It seems like it has more Simcoe coming out in the flavor almost. It's like spicy berries kind of get thrown in there along with peach and like tangerine and stuff. It gets a little bit more grapefruity too, maybe in the taste, and a beautiful lacing is forming there. Yeah, the feel, it isn't as good as some other Treehouse beers. I wonder if this is just this batch, so the feel isn't that great. I really like the taste, and it's very juicy. I mean, it's pleasant. It's still soft feel and all that stuff, but it doesn't seem to just like thickly float on my tongue. It does have a nice airy quality to it, but it's kind of prickly, and there are some actual like IBU bitterness things happening in this beer too. I feel like it's maybe a little bit more bitter than some other beers. That's probably why this one doesn't get super high ratings, but I really like the flavors because I'm getting a little tired of Mosaic in combination with certain yeast strains leads to plasticky, peach ringy. This one tastes just like actual ripe peaches and citrus fruits and stuff. Yeah, this is really good beer. you can probably tell that I'm not getting super blown away by it. I do have some cans of sap that actually I tasted last night and it was really good, but my palate was kind of shot yesterday because I drank a lot of really interesting beers. They weren't doing draft at Treehouse, unfortunately, but if you're in the Boston area and you're coming back from Treehouse, you might as well stop in Worcester at Armsby Abbey, or if you can, if it's open, Dive Bar, where you can get some Hill Farmstead on tap. With this one, I might like the flavor more than the aroma. The aroma is big on that, their yeast. I noticed a teeny bit of booze in there now. But it's lots of stone fruit comes out, and the flavor, apricots too. Very nice. Yeah, probably do 4.25 for this. I'm not, yeah, it's not really 4.5 bagger for me. But I'd still recommend buying some cans, especially if you're a fan of Simcoe, because Simcoe is pretty big in this, and it seems like Simcoe isn't quite as popular of a hop these days. But it's really nice, and if you like Mosaic, you might also think Simcoe is pretty similar. It has similar berry notes, like maybe I'm getting a little blueberry or something in there too. But Mosaic is just, I don't know, it's often just too oniony and plasticky and all that stuff. But the combination of Citra and Simcoe in this is kind of my favorite sort of hop flavors. I guess I should say there's very little dank qualities in this. Maybe there's a real distant sort of cat pissy type thing, catty thing that comes with Simcoe, and sometimes with Citra. But it's good beer. Yeah, 4.25, I guess I'd say. Don't pass it up. Bye.